Okay, beautiful people, we're starting off laying down, so come down to your back. Spread yourself out on the floor and start to slow down your breath. Breathe through your nose to the best of your ability. Big inhales into your big chest. And big exhales into your strong belly. Give yourself a lot of time to transition and begin to relax and bring your awareness inward to noticing your breath and your body. And it's okay if you notice your thoughts swirling around and begging for attention. That's all right. Just bring that awareness right back to watching the breath come in feeling the breath go out. Breathing in softly. Breathing out right now. And by allowing to rest your awareness in this moment, okay, by not getting taken for a ride by thoughts that try to pull you into the past or the future, you can luxuriate in this harmony, this peaceful place of just noticing what's happening now. Notice everything you hear and feel. And we'll bring in just a little gentle movement here, okay? So we'll start with your arms. We're gonna bend the elbows and reach your hands out way back away from your feet. So you're stretching yourself out nice and long. And as you reach your arms out, notice that your neck might tend to get a little short. So do the opposite of that by moving your shoulders away from your ears and keeping your neck really long. Okay, you feel the difference when you do that. And then bend your elbows a whole lot, but keep the palm flipped up. Keep the arms scraping the floor and pull your elbows down by your ribs. Okay, strengthening your back. So inhale, again, reach out long with your arms, big cactus arms. And exhale, pull the elbows in by your ribs, tiny cactus arms. Inhale for big cactus. Exhale for tiny cactus. And keep moving and breathing like this. Okay, begin to feel your arms, your back, your shoulders waking up. We want to feel a nice spaciousness across your chest too. So keep that spacious feeling. And the next time your hands reach out away from you, pause. Okay, this nice long shape that you have. Let's play around with it a little bit. Let's make a banana shape here and open up the sides of your body. So just take your legs out to the right. Take them both out to the right as far as you like. Okay, but make sure that your left hip hasn't left the floor. Your left glute is still on the floor. And then do the same with your arms. Take your arms out to the right as well. Okay, but make sure that the left shoulder blade hasn't left the floor. So what you've done is you've created this really long line across your left side, and it should feel good, never bad. Pull your belly button down toward the earth so that your low back is a bit neutral, and breathe. Breathe extra space into that left armpit and rib cage and back. Okay, if you want a little more from this, you can stack the left ankle on top of the right, and you can use your right hand to move the left wrist even further to the right. So we'll take just a couple more breaths into that left side here. Keep pulling that belly button down. All right, and then we'll bring it back through center. So take your time, and then we'll move to the other side. Legs out to the left, arms out to the left, but make sure everything is still grounded on the right. And you can take some time just breathing into the right side. Close your eyes, pull the belly button down toward the ground, and breathe. Okay, maybe you want to deepen this opening by taking the right ankle on top of the left. Left hand grabs the right wrist and moves it further to the left. A couple more here. Bring your shape back through center here. Feeling really extra long. Go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest and give them a hug. You can grab one knee in each hand, hug them in, and then maybe take them out to the sides for some little circle-y shapes. Kind of rolling and smooshing out your low back on the floor. And make sure that if you circle them one direction, that you circle them back the other way, of course, a few times. Okay, bring the knees back to center here. Just pause and then release your feet to the floor. And we'll bring the right knee in, okay? Getting into your right hip crease in your hip flexor, your low back, okay? You can take your hands behind that right thigh if your knee is sensitive or injured. No knee injury, you can grab the shin and start to grab that knee in towards your chest. So you're moving it inward. Feel like you want to bring that knee toward the very center of your chest. And we'll hold it right here, just breathing. So you might notice that right hip flexor right away, feeling intensity or some kind of release. If you feel pain, just back off. There's no reason to make anything painful. But if it's feeling pretty good, you can, as you move the knee inward toward the center of your chest, you can begin to add some resistance. So you can gently press the knee away at the same time as you're pulling it in. And you can play around with how much resistance. In general, a little goes a long way. But it'll give you maybe more of a release that you couldn't access without the resistance. And breathe into this hip opener. Maybe one more big breath here. Think of lifting your heart up towards your knee as you pull the knee in towards your chest. Okay, as you're ready, expand that knee out away from you. So opening up in that hip. And you can just cross the right knee all the way over the left here, just like you just sat down to dinner. Okay, you crossed your legs. So you can keep just one cross in the knees, or you can double cross the shins. It's up to you. Okay, take your arms out to the side for some figure fours, and we'll drop the knees over to the left, and then drop them over to the right. We'll take a few little twisty movements here. Keep breathing, okay, as you move side to side. Keep that big breath moving and look away from your knees. And that way you get that twist all the way up and down your spine. Okay, the next time the knees fall to the left, let's just hold it right there and breathe. Okay, look away from your knees, of course. Look out to the right. And then think of lifting your chest up toward the ceiling here. Like your chest is really doming up away from the floor. And breathe. Big chest inhales. Strong belly exhales. One more breath here. And bring your legs through center. Okay, leave them crossed. Leave them crossed right over left. Let's see what the other side feels like. So let's drop the knees over to the right. Okay, look away from them, look over to the left. And let's breathe here for a little while. Remember to lift your heart upward here as you twist. And breathe deeply. Taking your last breath here. As you're ready, bring the legs back into center. Untangle them and stick all your feet up in the air here. Just circle out your ankles. Both ways. And then drop your feet back by your hips. And we'll do the other side. So now we have the left knee coming in. You can take your hands behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Okay? And gently squeeze that knee in toward your chest. Center of your chest is where you want it to go. And you can think of also lifting the center of your chest up towards your knee. And breathe. Maybe press the knee away from you gently. If you feel like you want a little extra opening in the hips, that'll usually get it for you. One more breath here, opening up that hip flexor, okay? Feeling your low back release maybe. And then expand that left hip out away from you and drape the left leg over your right. So you can single cross at the knee, you can double cross at the shin. Either way is great. Cactus arms. And we'll start moving the legs side to side. So a little twisting, breathing. Remember to look away from your knees. You can close your eyes. And ring in your spine out here. Any little recalibrations. You might feel some pops. All right, and the next time your knees drop to the right, we're gonna leave them there for a little while and just enjoy the twist. So look over to the left, lift your heart, dome it up away from the floor and breathe. Big inhales into your chest. Strong exhales into your belly. Okay, when we work with those strong belly exhales, what we're really doing is we're training the low back support system to be extra balanced and prepared for any time the low back needs support. One more breath here. And then bring your legs through center. Keep them crossed like they are. Okay, left over right. Let's drop them to the left and see how that feels. Look to the right and breathe. Dome your chest up. Close your eyes down. One more breath here in this nice twist. Bring the legs through center. Untangle them. Get your feet up in the air. Circle out your ankles. Okay, we got into each hip. Okay, we did some nice work in there. We twisted out the spine. Now let's open up your hips a little bit more toward the ceiling. Go extend your hips. Okay, you can take your hands down by your side here, palms down, and we'll do some bridges. Before we do a bridge, we want to make sure that we have the correct activation to get the most out of this movement. So make sure, please, that you have a little space between your knees, but that you're engaging your knees inward toward each other. Okay, I like to imagine that I'm trying to hold a really big, heavy book between my knees. So there's going to be some space for that heavy, big book, but you're going to need to squeeze the knees toward each other to hold that book in there. So keep that. You should feel strong between your two legs, and you should feel strong in your core. So with that, on your inhale, lift your tailbone first, and then allow one vertebra at a time to peel up as your hips come up as high as you want them to. Okay. Remember to point your nose up so that the back of your neck is soft and off of the floor. And then when you exhale, you're rolling one vertebra at a time, back, down, okay? So let's do some more like this. Keep the book between your knees. Inhale, roll your spine up. Opening up your hips. You feel that the hip flexors are opening up to the ceiling. And exhale, roll it down. Now you maybe just close your eyes and find your own unique rhythm here. You don't have to move with me, but keep breathing and moving. Keep your chin away from your chest so that neck is soft. Feel the strength in your glutes, your core, your legs. Okay, and then next time you come up, just hold up there a little bit. So bring the hips up and hold, okay? If it's ever just too much, you can bring them down and rest. But if you're feeling okay here, let's just breathe. Pull the knees inward, hold that imaginary book, move the chin away from your chest, and perhaps you want to join your hands under you here. If you do that, you can scoot your shoulder blades up underneath your rib cage and push the floor down, okay, expanding your chest up and open. Really nice opener for the fronts of your shoulders. Big breath into the whole front of your body as it spreads open wide. Maybe one more big breath here in your bridge pose. And then release your hands. If you joined them, roll yourself down slowly, one vertebra at a time. Nice. When your hips land, take some windshield wipers here. You can just drop the knees side to side. Shake it out, okay? Notice that work that happened in your glutes and your hamstrings. Should feel good. Okay, and from here, next time your knees point up, just pause them right there. Feet on the floor, knees up. Take your palm down by your hip, one palm down by your hip. You pick that hip up, slide the palm underneath you, and then sit on it. And then do the same with the other hand, palm down by your hip. Pick the hip up, slide it underneath you, and sit on it. So now you're sitting on your hands, okay? From here, work your elbows up underneath you. Okay, your elbows kind of scooch under there. And then with a really nice tuck in your chin, like you're trying to hold an orange under your chin, okay? Hold that orange and push the floor away from you, coming up on your elbows, okay? So hang right here. You can move your feet out if you need to. Do what you need to do. but push down on that floor and lift your heart up high. Keep breathing. Okay, you can keep that. You're holding that orange under your chin. Don't lose your orange. Maybe you start to drop your head. So the reason we want to keep the chin tucked here is so we don't really crunch the back of the neck, okay? We don't really need to do that. We need to keep the neck long. So you should be able to talk here, and you should definitely be able to breathe. So make sure you can do those things. Breath here as you push the floor down maybe a little more. Lift that heart up a little more. Okay, inviting all kinds of space into your chest and your throat and your shoulders. How about one more big breath here in your fish pose? And then roll it down. You can pull your chin back into your chest. Bring your body back to the floor. You can take your hands out from underneath you here and extend your legs. It is time to rest. Okay, flip your palms up to the ceiling. Maybe scoot the shoulder blades under you nicely. And just feel all effort melting out of your body here. Notice your breath is involuntary, no longer controlling it. Your body already knows what to do. Notice all the little tiny sounds around you. See if you can become aware of your heartbeat. So just giving yourself time to notice what's going on right now and being present. Connecting to that peaceful place where we're just being now. So please give yourself as long as you can. Just to rest like this, friends. Okay, the longer the better. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining me.